Hello.
Hello there.
Put the glasses on. This is the latest batch of cards that I've gotten from audience members just like you. Because we're a little bit constrained here in this place, so I can't actually get cards from you. But I'm hoping that later on in the evening, we'll be able to take some questions from you, live questions, if you want. So I haven't seen these yet, so I want to take a look at them. What is the soul? I can't deal with that tonight. We don't have enough time. Are you doing all right? Would you like a glass of wine or anything?
Oh, that's great.
Well, I want a glass of wine. Are any of your minions dogs? Minions are my assistants. Minions are to me what elves are to Santa Claus. They don't deliver presents, though. And yes, plenty of them are dogs. Dogs are a very favorite form of minions. For some of these, I don't really want to... Oh, here's one. We can just get this kind of question off the table. And this goes into the folder that's labeled "Do You Date?" And this one says, I mean, now these guys think they're so clever, and then you're the only one who would have thought of this. But this is the third or fourth one that I got like this. Baby, will you be my psychopomp? Now, see, I had to look that up. First time it came out, I didn't know what a psychopomp was. A psychopomp is the entity that takes you from this realm to the other realm, or it's your guide into the underworld. Well, I thought, well, I am a psychopomp. That's what I and the minions do. We take you from here to there. But insofar as this nameless dude's question goes, no, I will not. Well, I will be your psychopomp, but it won't be the date that you're thinking of. It'll be the serious business that each of us will have to do eventually, at some point in time. I hope a long way away from now. Yeah, so we just take those questions off the table. I think you need some backstory. Before I continue too far on this, some backstory about me being deaf, Dorothy and everything. Well, my name's Dorothy, that's a given name. But how I became deaf is actually a 90-minute show called An Intimate Evening with Death Herself. And that tells the story, and I'm going to give you the short version of it now. I was a very unhappy, miserable waitress who was working as a server in a high school cafeteria. Total glamour job. You got the hairnet, a name tag, support hose. Awful, right? No tips, to put it mildly. And then after a very, very, very bad day on the steam table line, after an altercation with some meatloaf, which I survived, but they did not, I ended up at my favorite bar to celebrate the fact that I was still alive. The dude dropped dead in. I went in for a martini. But the place was crazy. It was like catatonic in there. Nobody was doing anything. I sat at the bar, Bud, can I have a martini? No action, just catatonia. Except for one guy sitting next to me. Tall guy, long black robe, agricultural implement, leaning up against the bar. I mean, I didn't see it, but that guy's name is Todd, a.k.a. Death himself. And he's come to that bar to execute, so to speak, a work order for a guy named Ralph. And I just happened to be in there. And everybody else was driven crazy by his presence. You know, they just went out. But I didn't mind, I guess. And I wanted a drink, he wanted a drink. I got us a couple of drinks. We hit it off. We made friends. We like each other. So sue me, right? And we did the business there, and you know, I helped, kind of a journeywoman apprentice or something like that. I helped him out, take Ralph to the other side. Then we left the bar and we went to a Denny's restaurant. We spent 7 weeks in a booth at a Denny's, getting to know each other. Because Todd's very comfortable there. He likes it, kind of like Tony Soprano at the pork store or something. We got to know each other very, very, very well. We're just like best friends forever, all very chaste and platonic. And we not only did we get to know each other and become best friends, we also put our heads together to try to come up with some new ideas for the deaf thing, to make it more client-centered, consumer-friendly, upgrades, options, choices, levels, all that stuff that we want from our products. And we're still working on that, by the way. Then in the 6 weeks, everyone's surprised, in the back booth of this Denny's restaurant, Todd comes to life. No one saw that coming. Suddenly he tastes the coffee and he goes, oh my God. Tastes the pickles, the parsley, smells the newborn babies as they were carried by to the bathroom. He's just like, oh my God, life Wonderful. Of course, he and I both knew that he wasn't going to be around long, so at the end of that week, he dies. Todd, death himself, dies in my arms in a booth at a Denny's. This is poignant. This is Frances McDormand and Willem Dafoe. Nailed. My people are trying to get in touch with their people, but you know, we get death, we just don't get our phone calls returned promptly. Yeah, so now I'm deaf, right? And I do the job. He left it to me in the booth. He said, "You're it. You're deaf." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." And he goes, death yourself. He just kind of rolled that phrase in his mouth and he smiled. Death yourself. I like that. And then he died. So I'm in charge now. I do my best, but I'm manifestly unqualified for the position, I will admit. Such questions like, how will I know when I'm dead? Now, a lot of people think that's a simple question, but it's actually a subtle and difficult question. I mean, we go from like Beetlejuice, remember the movie Beetlejuice, all the way back into Tibetan and Hindu mythology. There are stories of people who are dead but don't know it. They're just going through their habitual motions as if they're still alive, and they're getting frustrated because nobody will serve them a bowl of soup. Their family members won't say hello. They're ignored. They get pissed off. They're dead. They don't know it. Now, there are some, I'm just winging it here, there are some similarities between dreaming and dying, apparently. Makes sense, right? And so when people are being taught lucid dreaming, I know one technique that they use is to have people develop the habit of asking during the day, asking themselves, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? In order to get the habit of asking that question so that when you're dreaming, maybe you'll ask that question. You'll go, am I dreaming? And then you look around and there's lizards flying and it's just all kind of crazy stuff. And you think, well, maybe I am. Yeah, looks like it. And then you're lucid dreaming, right? So perhaps we could do the same thing with death. And we could, during our waking hours, we could say, am I dead? And look around and try to check the circumstances. See what about it might be off or weird. Because it might be something subtle, right? For instance, you might be sitting in something that appears to be a theater. There's an old lady on the stage who's deaf, and she's taking questions. I mean, really, how likely is that? I will tell you that it all seems very real to me. It all seems very three-dimensional, alive, blood pumping, we're breathing, we're all here. That's what it seems to me. And if it doesn't seem that way to you, I would request that you just keep it to yourself. We don't need to know that, the rest of us. I think that's your personal issue. And I wish you the best, frankly. Now, a little bit more backstory, just to give you the feel for the situation I've got to deal with here, which is first, okay, I got the minions to deal with. This is a management problem. Herding cats, right? But I mean, they appreciate my efforts because Todd was always kind of mean to the minions. He'd extinguish them if they mouthed off. He would they don't die because they aren't alive, right? But he would extinguish them, which is just as unpleasant. You know, he'd just stick his finger out and go zip, and the minion's gone, puff of purple smoke. I don't do that, and the minions are very appreciative. And I've got them going to like community college classes and stuff, so that we can interact with the human population more effectively. Because they're like cranky little sons of bitches a lot of the time. And then on top of that, I've got the whole bureaucracy of death. That's just one part. That's my crew, right? The whole bureaucracy of death is massive, and I'm not at the top of it. I'm a functionary, high level, but still. There's the god of war, works under me, so to speak. Asshole, right? Win, win, win. That's all he cares about. He is so pissed off that World War III almost started because he was so mad that I got chosen for the position instead of him. He thought, I've got the numbers. Who's this waitress? I can't answer him. I just, it's like, just get out of my office, would you? And then on the other side, there's the equally powerful goddess of infectious diseases. These two are very powerful. They don't like each other, they don't work together. Well, they do work together, but don't like each other. And he's an asshole, mean-spirited, cranky, but she's got a more subtle tone. She just kind of sits in her office in this overstuffed kind of green chair. Doesn't seem to do much. But she's got a sense of humor, at least. She's got a box of those antibacterial wipes near the door of her office. But nobody knows whether you're supposed to use it when you go in or when you go out. And nobody will ask her because she's just so fucking unpleasant. Right? You just want to get out of her office immediately. Even I, when I happen to go talk to her, it's like not a pleasant thing. This question must have come from this area. Will artificial intelligence change your vocation, your procedures? Will it change death itself? No, 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 and no. Simple answers to simple questions. But the AI thing, this is not really my wheelhouse or purview or whatever you want to say, but I do want to share it with you because I think it's super important. You know, like even Elon Musk and Bill Gates are worried about potential for AI kind of destroying us all, right? But there's something they know, and I know, but they won't tell you because they're scared. They're terrified of the consequences. And what they know but won't tell you is that there's an AI out there. It's been designed by some mysterious hedge fund or something like that, probably. But I want to backtrack a little technical stuff. In the AI community, there's something, I think it's called the paperclip maximization theory. So it posits the idea that you build an AI and you instruct it to maximize the production of paperclips. And you push the start button, and then X number of years later, half the universe is turned into paperclips. And it just keeps on going forever until the whole universe is converted into paperclips. So the developers of this AI have made the same kind of mistake. I'm not sure that they think it's a mistake, but they programmed this AI, they've given it the instructions to control all markets, dominate all markets everywhere. And if something isn't a market, turn it into a market and dominate it. And what they won't tell you is that this is called the Jeff Bezos AI.
Yeah.
Not human, you know. Jeff Bezos. No, I mean, it's a pretty convincing simulacrum, but you can see that the software engineers tweaking the parameters and stuff. Like, just a few years ago, he was this mousy little guy with skinny arms. Now he looks like a Navy SEAL. They tweaked it to make him look a bit bigger. But the software that they cannot get right is the smile software. Just not right. It's funky, it's weird. Anyway, it may be too late for us. The Jeff Bezos AI may have gone too far for us to hold it back. If so, I'll be seeing a lot of you very soon. Do I have to do the living and dying thing? Is it necessary? Well, I think the short answer is that the fact that you're writing the question down on the card indicates the answer is yes. But it's all in the EULA, the End User Licensing Agreement, which you signed, but you don't remember signing it because, we're all like screaming and everything, and we're crying, and we're just being born, brought into this world. And actually, I said you signed it. It's not really true. It's pre-signed, the EULA. The little box that says, I agree, it's already signed for you because they know you're going to be busy screaming and wailing as you're brought into this world. So, but the long form isn't available, even to me. I've been asking the archival people, and they say, fuck off. But the short form, they give me the short form of the EULA, the End User Licensing Agreement, is things will happen to you, how you respond is up to you. That's about it. Will my credit score follow me into the afterlife? See where the concerns are. Yes, it will, unfortunately. I'm trying to change that policy. I've been involved in some high-level meetings. I think we ought to just expunge all that stuff from your record permanently. But I want you to know that there's serious forces in opposition to this. Many of you are probably intimately aware, all too intimately aware of the fact that student debt isn't discharged by bankruptcy anymore. Recent change in the law. So that they don't want to stop there. They want to keep on going. So this consortium, I call them the vampire squid of bankers and credit card companies and mortgage lenders and stuff, come to our death disincorporated offices above the donut shop. And they've got a proposal that we postpone death until people's debts are all paid. Can't die. Cannot die until all of your debts are paid in full. I mean, picture this. You're 130 years old. You're walking down the aisle of a Home Depot and you got one of those orange aprons on. You're just drooling. Every time somebody asks you where the batteries are, you just say, please, please kill me. But they can't because it's a felony, right? And more and more of these zombies all the time, just like wandering down the sidewalk, kill me. I can't because your debts are not paid. So anyway, I was outraged by this proposal and I got all like Marlon Brando on him. I said, thank you to Coglias and the Barzinis for bringing this proposal, which I'm sure you think is wonderful. But we can't do it, so just get the fuck out of my office. And I told these people, I really wasn't that mean. I was kind of like, I was doing my Marlon Brando thing. But I said to them, I will be seeing each of you. So just remember that. Look deep into your souls. Jamie Dimon was there. I said, I will be seeing you. So just think about that. Is there an afterlife? What's it like? Well, obviously there is. Of course, duh. What's it like? Different question. So many reports. I think one of the answers to that question is the title of a country song, which I haven't written yet, except for the title. It's 24 Drunks in Downtown Des Moines. Think about it. But there may be something about a story I can tell that might flesh out, because it's a difficult question, it really is. And there's a story that might give some kind of an answer. I hope that's what you're here for, I guess. But there's a guy, I know him well. He was a college professor, a community college teacher. I can't remember if it was English or history, something like that. Single guy, it's a weekend, so he's shopping for his dinner at the Piggly Wiggly grocery store, which is a chain down in the southeast United States. It's got a big pig on the thing, on curly tail. Piggly Wiggly Market. And he's in the seafood section because he's looking for dinner for that night. And he's leaning over this big case filled with frozen seafood, trying to figure it out. He's not a decisive guy. It takes him a minute. And then he notices there's a little bit of rustling. There's some movement in the back of the frozen food case. What is it, a rat or something? It's like he looks around. Something, does anybody notice this? Nobody notices anything. He's by himself. But he leans closer to see what it might be. And to his amazement, the frozen seafood kind of parts, and up pops a halibut. Previously frozen halibut. And it's got both eyes on one side of its head, right? And it pops up its head out of the frozen seafood and it looks directly at this college professor. And the college professor looks directly at the halibut and their eyes lock. Like, it's just so strange. The two of us seeing each other like this, making eye contact. He doesn't know what to do. He looks from side to side. Maybe he's on candid camera. Maybe this is a prank. But nobody notices anything. Nobody cares. It's just him and the halibut. But while he's looking around, the halibut's, I was going to say he can't, but his fins are all down. But he's like gesturing with his head as much as he can. Down here. Hey, buddy. Hey. Yeah, down here. Yeah. Where am I? How did I get here? What is this place? Now, the college professor's a nice guy. Most people would just turn around, put their hands on the cart, and just walk away. That did not happen. But he's a nice guy. They'll be impolite. So he stays there, and he thinks, well, geez, this is a weird question, but he's, okay, you're in a Piggly Wiggly grocery store outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And the fish is like, what? And the guy, starts to dawn on him that really isn't very helpful to this halibut, describing a situation. So he goes, well, he's in all the way. He goes, well, all right, well, you're a halibut, so I imagine you were just a couple weeks ago probably just swimming around this Gulf of Alaska, just minding your own business, right? Now he's starting to take the side of the halibut, right? You're just minding your own fucking business, right? With your friends and family, or maybe you're just laying on that white sand on the bottom, staring up at the sky. Doing nobody any harm, bothering nobody. And then Steve, the fisherman, comes with his fishing boat. And the halibut goes, yeah, I remember Steve. And they got their hooks and their nets and all that shit, and they pull you up into the boat. And they take you into the port where the humans live in big concrete boxes. It's all so weird. And then you're taken to the processing plant. The minute he says that, he cringes, and so does the halibut. Like, it just sounds awful. A processing plant. God. And he shuts out, and the halibut goes, no, continue, please. I gotta hear the whole thing. It's a horror story, right? It's a horror story that the halibut is the victim of, and he's hearing it. Well, yeah, so then you're like, go to a distribution center, he's got to try to explain trucks and planes like a bird that's made out of metal, and the ballad goes, what's a bird and what's metal? It's like, forget it. You were put in a truck, which is a thing that moves, right? That's it, moves, and you're brought to the back of this grocery store, you're separated from your friends and family once again. You're put on a piece of baby blue styrofoam, and they wrap it with plastic and put a label on there with the weight and the price, and it's horrifying to me now. They don't even put your name on there. It's so rude. Hell yeah, it is. Worse than that. So what is this place, he says, that I've been brought to? And the guy goes, well, it's a grocery store, and we humans come here to buy food, and he's all God, right? To eat. Now he goes, oh, I get it. Well, all right, finish. I want to hear the whole thing. The guy goes, well, this is a tough spot for this guy. Well, people like me come along, they put you in the cart, and they take you out to checkout, and they take you home, and they thaw you out, and they cook you and eat you. You just want to get through with it. There's this long pause, and people are, in the grocery store, they're looking down, this guy's taking a long time deciding what kind of fish he wants. Long pause between halibut, and they're just both digesting it. Maybe that's the wrong word, but. And finally, the halibut says, well, deep breath, gills flap. I want to thank you because you've been very kind. You've been extremely helpful. I know this is awkward and hard for you to tell me this, but I'm glad you did. It was rough on both of us. I just want to thank you. But I've got one more favor to ask you, and I hope you do it. It's okay if you don't. I understand. But I wonder if, you would do what you said. If you would do that for me. And the guy goes, what? He goes, and the fish goes, well, I don't want some stranger just throwing me in the cart. At least we've chatted. We got to know each other. Right? And he goes, yeah. So will you do it? And the guy goes, well, tough spot, right? I was thinking about the trout. All right, I'll do it. It's like a nice guy, right? It's not. It's not like giving bus fare. Nice guy. All right. So he puts him in the cart, walks through this, starts. It's very somber. A somber moment. Puts the fish in the cart gently. He goes. I'm going to go to the produce department now. And he goes, what's produce? And he goes, I don't really want to talk about it anymore. And the halibut goes, you're right. I don't want to hear it anymore. So let's just say our goodbyes now. Thank you so much. He's really grateful. Thank you very, very much for helping me out. The guy goes, thank you. You've brought something to me. I don't know what it is yet, but it's important. And that's the last words they said. He took the stuff home, put the asparagus on, put the rice in the cooker, slivered almonds, thaws the fish, browns the fish, butter, white wine, lemon juice, perfect. Gets his best white wine out, sets the table out on the deck, sunset. Brings the plate out. Glass of wine, takes a sip of wine, and birds fly into the sunset. A dog barks a couple of yards away, and he eats his dinner. It was fantastic. It was the best meal he ever had. Memorable. Everything about it he remembered. But he never went into that Piggly Wiggly market again. This, just so you know, I bring this in case I completely fall. I don't have any answers at all. And this, it's pretty cool. When it has a battery in it, it makes this HAL 9000 voice. Like, I don't think I can do that, Dorothy. Anyway, we haven't had any bad luck yet. So I think now is the time that I try to put off as long as possible. I'll be taking questions from you people. Have you got any questions? I have a question for Deb. Yes?
I'm an atheist, is that a problem?
No, you're gonna die, fine. No problem
When
at all.
I get there, you know?
Well, you get where?
Other side? Or
Sure, of course, yeah. Your beliefs don't matter. Yeah.
Is death ever fun?
What?
Is death ever fun?
Well, I don't know about fun, but it can certainly be a change of pace. And for some people, it's like one of the cards in there I passed over, and then more than one person has asked me, now, honestly, those cards are written by other people, not me. Does it hurt? And no, death doesn't hurt. Often, very often, the relief. You know, the end of pain. It's the end of suffering. Like people, there's really common when people have a near-death experience. A lot of times they have the experience of, like, don't take me back there. Like, for the first time in ever that I can remember, I don't feel pain. Don't make me go back there. But they have to go back there because they got work to do and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So fun, I don't know. But rewarding, you know, rich, all that stuff, you bet. Anything else? Andrew Wheel, you must have a question back there. I'll go through the list again. All right. People were.
Where did you get that jacket?
I had it made
It's
by the
beautiful.
two beautiful, beautiful women that made all of the outfits for the San Francisco Opera. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience having it made.
Did they die?
Pardon?
Did they die?
No, they did not. No, the business, I get a work order. It's like, you know, death is, like I said, I'm a functionary, not a factotum, functionary. And so I get a work order, and then I execute it, so to speak. Decisions are made on another level. Thank God. I wouldn't want that responsibility.
Who makes the decisions?
Pardon?
Who makes the decisions?
Some eminence grease.
What?
You know, just, you know, like The Millionaire, the TV show The Millionaire, you ever see him?
Mm.
Just the back of the head in the chair, it's like that. I ask around, down at the break room. You know, I chat and stuff, you know, people are very, you know, it's like, they're always like, you know, come on, Dorothy, mind your own business, right? Not your department.
Hey, do the minions?
What?
Do the minions ever jump ship?
Jump ship?
You know, decide they don't.
Oh, you mean like Tibetan monks when they come to this country,
Yep.
they run off?
Is that a reference?
They do that, yeah. They try, but we round them up. Who's that guy with the long blonde hair, the dog guy? He's a bounty hunter.
Oh, dog.
No, I don't do that. No, I just call him on the phone. I say, listen, you're late.
Yeah.
You're late. You know, come on. And they go, all right, I'll come in. And no treats. You don't come in.
Is there a life after death?
Pardon? Yes.
Is there a life after? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's this thing's fault.
Is there a life after death?
I believe so. I think it goes around and around and around. But again, I haven't got a definitive answer from anyone on that. But all the data says yes. I can't be more certain than that. Anyone else? Yes.
What would be the next step in your career?
Pardon?
What's the next step in your career? Post-death.
Post-death.
Post what you do next.
Oh, well, I don't know. See, I didn't choose this job. It was given to me, so I'm really not sure what's next. I just happened to make friends with death in a bar, and then things developed, and you know how they do when you meet someone. It didn't get out of hand, but it's like, it was unpredictable. I didn't see this coming at all. So, but I love my job. I do not want to go back to the cafeteria. I mean, it's a hard job, but lots of responsibility. I get respect, but I never got as a server in a high school cafeteria. I get devastated dinner a couple times a month.
Do zombies ever become a redundant nuisance?
Zombies are in movies. else with a question like that. I like you.
I agree.
Vampires,
Vampires?
same thing.
Yeah, vampires are fucking real, man. But you know, it's not always in blood. How will I know? Oh, they already got that one. Is there reincarnation? I think so. But people keep asking that question over and over again.
Do you know who shot JR?
No. I wish. Well, no, I don't wish. I mean, I never watched that show. The guy with the cowboy hat, right? It was quite a mystery, apparently. I was in a, different place then. We can talk about it sometime. I mean, I don't date, but I go out for a glass of wine or something now and then, a cup of coffee. It happens.
If there's reincarnation, do you ever come back as an animal instead of a person?
Not by choice.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it?
Just really,
Does anybody got a pen? I want to write that down.
that's really good.
Is everybody here alive? Can you check?
I want to know the connection between fatigue and wanting to die.
Excellent question. No, really. This is an affliction, a very common affliction, I think. And I think I'm not sure I want to go here, but I have to go over the question statement. There's a Buddhist guy, and I don't want to rely on those folks too much, but said that, and it spoke directly to me. I will confess that it was an issue. It's like it's your ego that gets tired, not the other part. The other part loves it, doesn't need anything. The ego is twisted and weird, and we're all messed up. The programming sucks for all of us, and that's what I think that's true.
Thank you.
Suicide, is that a conflict of interest or something?
Not for me. I mean, the workload comes down. I mean, I'm not happy about it. But it addresses the previous question a little bit. I don't know where I read this, but there was some study about people who had survived jumping off a bridge. And I think almost all of them said, as soon as I jumped, I knew it was a mistake. That my problems, I don't know if they're thinking this, I'm filling in the blanks, but my problems were imaginary. They were, my suffering was real, but it was a drama I was writing. And they jump and they go, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you know that people that think it's a mistake are the ones that don't die?
Sorry?
How do you know that the people that jump and then realize it's a mistake don't die?
Because, they're going to die later, but they survive. They survive the jump.
But the ones that die, maybe they don't think it's a mistake.
Possibly.
That's what I was trying to get at.
No, yeah, it's unknown, at least to me. You can go down to the archives. Those guys, they're very unhelpful. It's like you don't have your 64-stroke B filled out correctly.
So do you have any assistants, or do you do it all by yourself?
Oh, we got minions, but they're more trouble than they're worth, right? But, it's kind of like the Santa Claus quandary. Like, here I am in San Francisco in a theater, but business is ongoing. Ongoing, put it mildly. So, the minions, we just make it all work somehow. I mean, the change, like, I told earlier about I want to change the death business, to make it better for us. But it's a business that has to keep going. It's like changing the engines in a B-17 in flight. It's complicated. Because some people think, well, wouldn't it be great if you took a week holiday? Death. Just leave us alone for a week or so. But it doesn't work out. People don't like it. People do not like it. The people who are scheduled to die, they're calling up and saying, "Where's my service? I was supposed to be out of here 3 days ago. You know, why are you guys late?" You know, people are getting cranky and so forth, and it just doesn't work out well. So things have to move the way they do. When our time comes, it comes.
So how are you making it more friendly?
These shows, it's the first start. I mean, we're a low-budget outfit. If we had, I mean, people think death, right? Everybody is a customer, perforce. Everybody is a future client. So they think, well, you got all the customers, you got all the good leads, must have a lot of money. Well, it's a free service. There's no PayPal button or anything like that. And we don't even get the tips we used to. You know, like the coins on the eyes and stuff. Nobody does it anymore. We don't get a percentage from the Department of Defense, from Smith & Wesson. We don't get anything. So, and the other assumption I'll fill you in on that people make is that if there's been a change, like Todd being replaced by Dorothy, that there would be some kind of announcement to let the general populace know that there's been a big change. Well, nobody tells anybody anything. The place is not run very well. Nobody, it's like, so I have to come out here and, you know, at my age, do these shows. Just get the word out. You know, I got a lot of work at the office to do too. We must be running out of time.
Quick question, your predecessor had a black robe and a site?
Yeah, the side.
Is there a way that you got away with you got to pick your outfit, and what about the predecessor?
Well, no, I complained vociferously when we were in the Denny's about the marketing materials that we used, like the woodcuts and stuff like that, and the motivation through fear. You know, we know that stuff doesn't work. So I was on it from the beginning. We got to upgrade the marketing materials. We got a friendlier face for death. Maybe Betty White. She doesn't answer our calls either, but you know, so that's the idea. Is we because our the committee is very, very solid on this. That the fear of death has driven our culture completely insane. So we think that making death a friendlier thing, something that people aren't so afraid of, will have benefits not to us just personally, but the whole culture. So, I just lost what I was going to say. It was really, really good. I have no idea what it was.
What have you learned as a manager?
Manager?
Yeah, and what would you tell
That
me?
I like solo operations.
Oh.
Yeah, managing is very hard. It takes a lot of time, and you've got personalities to deal with. Even the minions got personalities. You know, like chickens got personalities. The minions do too.
Is your day and time of death written in stone?
What's that?
Is your day and time of death written in stone?
Well, my theory is that it kind of, that things are written, but there is an editing function that is available. That's the way I think. I think we may have fate, but there's room for something in there. And depending on what we do. If we just go through our habits mechanically, probably not much in store for us. But if we, you know, if we're here, we wake up. Because that's what death does, right? That's what we're trying to do. Death breaks the fourth wall. Death ends the narrative that you're telling yourself your whole life. The story ends here, and now you're just here with death. That's what happens when we die. That's why it's so extraordinary. But it only happens once and it's over, and we can't, oh shit. But that's what they mean by die before you die. It's like come to that moment where the story ends and you're just here. And it's very hard to do. It sounds easy, but it's really hard. It's worth it. It's where everything is right here, right now. Nothing exists anywhere else. It's all we have. So death breaks that narrative, perforce, with a crowbar. That sounded like the last word. I think we're pretty close out of time, too. Yep. I just want to tell you, the Minions and I love you to death. And I'm so happy you came, and I will remember you. Just like the way I remember Jamie Dimon and those guys. I'll remember you too, but fondly. So thank you very much for coming to the show.